I know you just finished the red carpet, but they kind of need you out there ASAP, so I'm not telling you to hurry.
Okay.
But
got it.
Yeah.
Hey, you, guy.
Yeah, that's me. Underdeveloped random guy at your service. How can I help you?
Did you see you left this in my dressing room?
That? Yeah, it was him.
You let that person back here?
Is he not with the show? I thought he was a podcaster or something.
Have you ever even seen a podcaster?
Have you?
Hey, we just think the total studio knows slasher time. Should we step in?
Run! No, please! I know the director! Oh my god. I thought you were gonna grab the knife. Wait! Why do we even have a knife?
Why are you doing this? I don't know what you think happened last award show, but I swear it was not my fault. Okay, nobody told me that you weren't supposed to take the unclaimed awards home. I thought it was like a standard, and so maybe I sold a few on eBay. That hereditary gingerbread house wasn't gonna pay for itself. Okay, if you have a problem, just complain on Twitter. That's what everybody else does. You want me to... okay. The wait is over. The Chainsaw Awards start now.
You have entered a dimension of fright and sound, populated by magnificent monsters, sensational slashers, and all manner of cool creatures gathered together for unspeakable acts of celebration on horror's biggest night. This is the 2023 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. And now, coming to you almost live from Wolfpack Studios in Burbank, California, he's the celebrated star of Dune, The Suicide Squad, and the Ant-Man films, as well as the creator of the Dark Horse comic Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter. And she's a drag icon, cult leader, and the filmmaker of All About Evil. Please welcome your hosts, David Dastmalchian and Peaches Christ.
You know, Peaches, let me start by saying that it's not only an honor to be back hosting the Chainsaw Awards, but a real thrill that I get to do so with you this year.
Well, I assure you, David, the pleasure is all mine. Any advice for a first-time host?
Yes, just try and survive.
What?
I think we can all agree that it was an exceptional year for horror. Creators across a variety of mediums and platforms pushed the envelope, delivered biting commentary, and brought fear and cheers in equal measure.
And let's face it, through all the blood, guts, and gore, we had a lot of fun.
We saw the return of cult faves like Michael Myers, Chucky, and The Predator.
And the rise of brand new scary creeps like the Grabber and fierce icons like Pearl.
To that end, a clown made a real splash with horror fans this year.
I prefer the term drag performer, but thank you.
I meant art.
Yes. Well, I guess what I do is artistic. Thank you for noticing.
Right. Barbarian taught us to be wary of where we stay when we're traveling.
And milk.
Say, that woman under the house, do you know her? You could probably give her some makeup tips.
What are you talking about? I mean, she looked great. Totally natural, you know. Look, this year also saw the release of Phil Tippett's stop-motion fever dream Mad God, which he started working on in 1990.
Only slightly less time than it takes to get a script meeting in this town.
The writer made us keep that joke.
It was also a tremendous year for the genre in a non-fiction space. Documentaries covering classic monsters, scary moments, and queer history stood toe-to-toe with hosted content broadcast from forgotten drive-ins and a Titan-ruled underworld.
And as ever, the power of nostalgia had a strong hold on fans, with Stranger Things giving us a reason to revisit our love of Kate Bush and Metallica, The Munsters returning to Mockingbird Lane, and a staggering 16th entry in the Puppet Master cinematic universe.
Is that true?
Well, yeah, if you count spin-offs and remakes.
What kind of award show of horror would we be if we didn't?
Exactly.
All that to say that this genre of fright remains as powerful and poignant as ever. Whether you get your horror content from film, television,
Podcasts, or the nightly news.
There's an embarrassment of riches awaiting fans who are eager to scream with delight.
Tonight, we'll be celebrating some of the most notable nightmares and names that rocked the last year and ensured their place as the cult icons of tomorrow.
So, with that in mind, and without further ado,
let's get on with the show!
Ironically, the presenters of our first award just wrapped a movie about the perils of taking on the last shift.
From the forthcoming Welcome Villain-produced motion picture Malum, please welcome director and co-writer Anthony DeBlasi and actress Clark Wolfe.
There's a phrase that occasionally appeared in the credits of old Hollywood movies that read, "A good cast bears repeating."
And as a cast member, it's admittedly nice to get that extra bit of recognition. But what that sentiment really reminds us is that no film is made in a bubble.
It's true, it takes a great many people to bring a movie to life, to make us believe what's unfurling before the audience's eyes.
And this is especially true when it comes to preparing a performance. Beyond just the art of playing pretend, those individuals who populate a story are tasked with creating characters that make flesh out of fantasy.
The nominees in this category definitively prove that every role and character is essential to the fabric of the story.
And that through an elevated or thoughtful portrayal, the audience believes all the more in the world presented to them.
The nominees for Best Supporting Performance are Jamie Clayton, Hellraiser;
Mark Rylance, Bones and All;
Ethan Hawke, The Black Phone;
Rachel Sennett, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies;
Justin Long, Barbarian;
Brittany Snow, X;
Madeleine McGraw, The Black Phone;
Kristen Stewart, Crimes of the Future;
Jenna Ortega, Scream;
Stephen Yun, Nope. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Madeleine McGraw, The Black Phone.
Oh my gosh, this is actually so sick. First, I just want to say thank you so much to all the fans of Black Phone. You guys are incredible, and I wouldn't be holding this without you guys, so thank you so much for voting for me. And I'm so grateful to just be nominated in this category with all these amazing actors, especially my castmate Ethan Hawke. And I want to give a huge thanks to Scott and Cargill for creating such a cool, feisty, layered character like Gwen. She'll always have such a special place in my heart. And yeah, thank you so much, Fangoria and Blumhouse and Universal. This is crazy. I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much.
And now, the prolific star of such films as The Retaliators, Devil's Night, and None of That. Please welcome the incomparable Sarah Nicklin.
When you think about it, horror fans have a lot in common with foodies. Though I bet if you asked Hannibal Lecter or the duo from Bones and All, they'd argue it's a bit more nuanced than that. But what I mean is that true enthusiasts of fright know that it's not about how much of something there is, but rather how it's made. From big gore to the briefest scares, we can all argue that the quality and craft of something is what makes it positively delicious. Whether it's a podcast or a feature film, a YouTube video or a miniseries, horror fans have proven that they are less concerned with the format or runtime and more interested in something that grabs their attention and makes their imagination run wild. Though the work presented by the nominees in the following category is considered bite-size, the ideas and creativity they've brought to the table are without measure. To that end, each of these projects are more than a mere snack, but rather a taste of something grand and all their own. The nominees for Best Short are Blink, Close Your Eyes, Guts, Meet Friend, Oh Glory. And the Chainsaw Award goes to... Close Your Eyes. And we have a video from the winner.
Hi, I'm Andy Chen. I'm the director for the short film Close Your Eyes. Thank you so much, Fangoria. This is literally the coolest thing I own now. Anybody that knows horror, knows Fangoria, knows what a big deal this is. So shout out to everybody who voted. Yeah, even to get nominated was incredible. We just made this short film with just like a small group of friends. I think there was like 6 or 7 of us in the crew, and a couple actor friends and stuff. So this is crazy. Never thought this would happen. So shout out everybody. Thank you, Fangoria, and this means the world. Appreciate you guys.
Our next presenters are young talents who have already made a considerable impact on the world of fright. From the critically acclaimed The Black Phone, please welcome Mason Thames and Madeleine McGraw.
There's a moment in every artist's life when they hear that call.
Oh no, we're not doing that again, are we?
No, not a telephone call, but a call to create. To take a concept or vision and make it a reality.
Oh, right. That drive that brought all of us who dream of making movies together.
Exactly. And though everyone's journey to get here is different.
Each began with the first step that carved the path to something amazing.
The nominees in this category boldly announced themselves via unique visions that immediately captured the imaginations of audiences the world over.
From deep looks at our obsession with media to tongue-in-cheek commentary on the bonds of family and beyond, these films explored humanity and horror from fresh points of view.
And in doing so, marked the end of an initial journey for these artists and the beginning of the next.
The nominees for Best First Feature are...
Blood Relatives.
Deadstream.
The Sadness.
Watcher.
We're All Going to the World's Fair.
And the Chainsaw Award goes to... Watcher.
Watcher.
Thank you guys. Oh my God. This is amazing. Thank you to the producers, Derek Douchy, Steven Schneider, Ben Ross, and Roy Lee for believing in this movie and shepherding it through a very long and difficult process. A huge thank you to Image Nation, IFC, and Shudder for getting behind us in such a big way. Definitely want to shout out the amazing cast and crew in Bucharest, Romania, where we shot. Also need to give some love to my AFI homies forever, the cinematographer Benjamin Kirk-Nielsen, and the incredible editor Michael Block, as well as our composer Nathan Halpern. Want to definitely thank my lovely husband for not being a Francis and supporting me unconditionally. And lastly, I would say, of course, like this movie would not have been what it was without Micah Monroe, who is just a lovely human being and an incredible actress, and Bern Gorman, who, in spite of what you may think, is actually the sweetest man in the entire world. So huge thank you to them. And just thanks to everyone who watched and supported us and is keeping indie horror going strong. Thank you guys.
Next up is a duo who have proven that getting gory doesn't mean you can't have a good time. One is the legendary star of Sleepaway Camp, and the other rocked our worlds and returned to Nukem High. From Terrifier 2, please welcome Felissa Rose and Catherine Corcoran.
What's going on? Oh boy, when you work on a high energy project like Terrifier 2, you don't end up with a movie that looks that cool by clowning around on set.
To be fair, there was a little bit of clowning around.
Okay, maybe there actually was a lot, but it still takes incredible vision to bring the magic of the set to the screen.
What's more, it's not about merely capturing what's in front of the camera, but finding the perfect angle and light that best brings a nightmare to life.
And makes your actors look good.
Exactly.
The nominees in this category are each extraordinary artists with a lens taking the visual medium of film and pushing those boundaries into bold new territory.
And let's face it, that's a special magic that you don't get by merely clowning around.
Too much, anyway.
The nominees for Best Cinematography are
Kasusha Jenenfeld, A Wounded Fawn.
Rob Hardy, Men.
Elliot Rocket, Pearl.
Elliot Rocket, X.
Hoyt van Hoytema, Nope. And the Chainsaw Award goes to... Oh, I'm so excited.
Hoyt van Hoytema, Nope.
Hi everyone, Hoyte here. Thank you so much for acknowledging me this beautiful, beautiful award. I'm very sorry I cannot be there tonight. Nonetheless, yeah, I feel the festivities here, and it's a very big honor for me. Making Nope was very much a team effort for me, so I feel that this award is not only for me, but definitely also for my very loyal and lovable and loving crew. I would say Keith Davis, my first AC, Adam Chambers, my gaffer, Kyle Carden, my key grip. They're with me always on these journeys. Of course, I should be grateful as well to Jordan and to Ian. They're both very courageous, and we did a lot of weird inventing and venturing, and I think the trust they put in me was very, very important for that whole process. So yeah, I owe them a very big thank you as well. Regardless, thank you so much once more. I'm very proud, and I hope you all have a really nice evening.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, and it's really not my problem.
I'm trying to tell you there's a slasher running around backstage and that doesn't concern you?
Not my department.
There's literally bodies back there.
You probably should talk to the director about that, because I'm definitely not going to be the one cleaning that up.
Wow, okay, fine. Michael? Michael!
Yeah, can I help you?
I'm sorry, I'm looking for Michael.
Right, that's me. What do you need?
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for Michael, the director.
Right, so he was too busy doing other things to be on camera, so he hired me to play him. So I'm Michael Verratti, the director of the show.
What?
Yeah, just go with it. I mean, meta horror is in right now.
I don't...
Michael, love your suit.
Thanks, Ghoul. Hey, don't forget, podcast recording today after the show.
I have it on my calendar. Later, Ghoul.
Now can I help you with something?
I'm sorry, this is absurd. Whatever, I just need to let somebody know there's a slasher running around backstage.
Of course there is.
No, he's killed people.
Yeah, this is the Chainsaw Awards. Of course there's a slasher
No,
backstage.
I don't think you're hearing me. He's literally murdered people.
Oh, and also, just so you know, this soundstage is the same location as the incident with the masked maniac 30 years ago, to the day.
What?
Also, this location is actually built on the burial ground of another award show. It says it right behind me.
That doesn't even make sense.
Look, can you just roll with it, please? Also, do do you think you can handle introducing the next presenter? Because I actually have somewhere to go.
I guess.
Great. Hey, kid. You're gonna be the director now. Your name's Michael. Just go.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hi. Hey. Our next presenter is undeniable genre royalty, known for her work in such titles as Victor Crowley, Tales of Halloween, and recent role on Star Trek Picard as Dr. Oak. Please welcome the one, the only, Tiffany Shepis.
Cut!
In many ways, the art of cinema is a universal language. Travel the globe, and more often than not, you'll find people who simply love movies. As a medium, film is a great way to connect with our culture and the world around us, and also to connect with cultures other than our own. In truth, for many people, art often provides their first glimpse beyond the borders of their homeland and other countries, and their ways of life. From our movies, we not only can be entertained by one another, but also expand our horizons. In the case of horror, this is doubly so. What scares us as individuals and as a society often speaks to a greater truth. The ghost stories, folklore, fears of a specific place can tell you a lot about its people, what sets them apart, and ultimately, how much we share in common. The nominees in this category represent exceptional films from around the world that each brought their uniqueness of their native countries to the forefront, while also showcasing that fright is a communal, universal experience. The nominees for Best International Film are Hatching, The Innocents, Piggy, Saloom, Speak No Evil. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Speak No Evil. And now we have a video from our winner.
Hey everybody, I am Christian Taftrop, and I just received this beautiful, very scary award for Best International Feature for my horror film Speak No Evil at the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards 2023, and this is such a big surprise. It's such an honor. I've never ever made a horror film, and maybe that's why I wanted to try it and to see if I could make the most disturbing horror film ever made, especially in Danish cinema. And in my country here, it's got so disturbing that people talk about it, they heard about it, but they don't dare to go see it. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but I think we made a film that is not only scary, but also makes you reflect on society and who we are as human beings. I want to thank everybody who voted for this film. It means so much to me. Thank you guys. A lot of love from Copenhagen, Denmark.
And now, with the international flair for fright still fresh in our minds, we go to Germany for a message from Fangoria's senior contributing editor, Meredith Borders.
Guten Tag from Cologne, Germany. One of the great joys of being part of the Fangoria family is getting to see just how many people have been touched by the publication across the world. And that, while there are many different tendrils of horror, fright has an undeniable global appeal. One thing that rings especially true for fans the world round is that people like a good monster and love a particularly nasty one. Whether it be region-specific creatures or the universal faves, wicked beasties are a hit no matter where you are. Luckily, our next presenter knows a little something about making a horrific journey count. Please welcome filmmaker and creator of the Final Destination franchise, Jeffrey Ruddick.
In my time as both a horror creator and fan, I've seen a lot of innovatively executed monsters, beasts, and ghouls. And trust me, I know a thing or two about inventive executions. And while some creatures are born and others are made, it takes a certain mastery and skill to rise above the screams and become a legendary icon of fright. Whether it be terrors from beyond the stars, rampaging prehistoric beasts, or nightmares ripped from the depths of our imagination, the artists nominated in this category gave life to the unthinkable, and we couldn't be happier with the blood-curdling results. Horror fans know that a horror movie can be made or broken by its monsters. Luckily, each of these artists have not only delivered, they slayed. The nominees for Best Creature Effects are Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr., Prey, Gustav Hogan, Hatching, Troy Larson, Patrick McGee, Mark Villalobos, VHS 99, John Nolan, Jurassic World Dominion, Guillaume Rocheram, MPC, Nope. And the Chainsaw Award goes to, I really stuck this on here, Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. for Prey.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. It truly is heavier than it looks, isn't it? Wow. Thank you very much. If you had told me and Tom Woodruff Jr. In 1987, when we were working on the original Predator, that we would get an award in 2023 for another Predator, we would have been blown away, and I'm pretty blown away right now. I have a few people that I'd like to thank for this because, you can't build a Predator with just a couple of people. First of all, I'd like to thank Fangoria for being supporters over the decades of practical effects. I've been a fan of the magazine, I've been in the magazine, and I'm really grateful to the support that they've given my art over the years. Also, on behalf of Tom Woodruff Jr. and myself, I would like to thank our director, Dan Trachtenberg, for his vision and for allowing us the opportunity to support it. Dan is a very methodical thinker, and he is an absolute lover of horror and sci-fi and movies in general, and he had a very specific way of looking at the Predator. In fact, what he said to us was he wanted this Predator to feel more like a horror character, and that enabled us to sort of unleash our imaginations and come up with something that's maybe a little bit different than what we've seen before. But isn't the Predator universe big enough to support some diversity? I think it is. On the studio side, I'd like to thank producers Marty Ewing, Jennifer Dinh, Scott Aversano, Steve Aspel, and Ben Rosenblatt for being such phenomenal people, phenomenal filmmakers is what they are. On the VFX side, we had Ryan Cook and Jamie Stevenson who set out with us a plan for creating a Predator that was a mix of practical and digital, and I think they knocked it out of the park as well. And of course, in my team, we had 40 plus incredible artists led by my shop foreman, Yuri Everson, and also Garth Winkless. And then on set, we had Dave Pinnacus, John Miller, Mike Fields, and Mo Gomeo supporting us as well. You can't forget Dane DeLegro, who is a new talent to suit performing. You're going to see a lot more of him. I've already worked with him on a couple more projects. He's fantastic. DP Jeff Cutter and composer Sarah Schachner, who all helped to create the world of Prey. And I thank you very much once again, Fangoria, for this award. Thank you.
Hey, Peaches, you got a sec?
Look, I already told you, I'm not hunting around backstage for some masked killers. I got a show to host.
I know, it's not that. Someone dropped off this videotape for you.
Videotape? This is 2023. What is this?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. The last time I watched a mysterious videotape, I got threatening phone calls from someone saying I was gonna die in 7 days.
Wow, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, you know what's scarier? The Boulet brothers clearly don't know about caller ID.
Well, what should we do about this tape?
Let's watch it. I gotta know.
What about having a show to host?
Maybe during the break they can go out and find some more ad dollars. Crafty was a bit scanty, if you ask me.
Why do we even have a VCR on the set of an award show?
Shh, just go put it in.
Okay.
I'm very proud to introduce our next presenters because, in truth, they're part of my chosen family. Not only is she a Dreamlander and a legend known for her roles in Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble, and Desperate Living, and he's the star of such cult fare as Greg Araki's Kaboom and Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, they both starred in my movie, All About Evil. Please welcome Mink Stoll and Thomas Dekker.
You know, Mink, I was thinking earlier about how you've done a lot of movies with fabulous drag queens.
That's funny, because I was going to point out how you've co-starred alongside some scary monsters.
And interestingly enough, we have both worked with drag monsters.
Not to name names.
Oh, no, of course not. But I think we can both agree, whether it be Queen or Kruger, half the battle is making sure you look fierce.
It's true. When you think about it, a good outfit can go a long way into making a horror icon. Whether it's Dracula's cape, a slasher's mask, or Frankenstein's lifts, what they wear can make or break a nightmare.
From classic monster apparel to out-of-this-world fashion, the nominees in this category brought a certain style to this year's Fear favorites.
And each, in their way, proved that even in the scariest moments, there's no excuse not to look good.
Correct. The nominees for Best Costume are
Alex Bovaird, Nope.
Stephanie Porter, Prey.
Andras Danielle Toth and Godina Joaz Attila, The Monsters.
Mayu Cherkarioty, Crimes of the Future.
Malgosia Trzanska, Pearl. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Stephanie Porter for Prey.
Thank you to Fangoria for this recognition. This award belongs to every member of our costume department whose incredible talents came together to create so many beautiful things. Javier, Addie, Chris, Amy, and the incredible Canadian craftspeople. Dan Trachtenberg's amazing vision and incredible story, along with Jeff Cutter's beautiful cinematography, made this film such an exquisite and engaging addition to the Predator canon. Jane Myers, our Comanche producer, was an instrumental part of my process. As someone who doesn't have Indigenous ancestry, I wanted to make sure that I treated this film with as much respect and honor as it deserved. And Jane was always there to answer my 350 questions a day and to show me amazing techniques that she had learned growing up. Finally, I would like to thank my family for being there and supporting me with the long hours and the trips all over planet Earth. My son, August, my partner, Carrie, my dad, my sister, brother-in-law. Without you guys, nothing would be possible. Thank you.
What fun is a dark deed without a good song to match? As acclaimed crafters of satanic doo-wop, our next guests have won legions of fans for albums filled to the brimstone with delightfully diabolical delights. Please welcome rock duo Twin Temple.
If you were to ask a casual fan what makes a truly great horror film, they might mention the look or the feeling it inspires. But folks who really know the score, pun intended, will also tell you that what you hear can make or break a nightmare.
More than just a tool to move a scene along or convey emotion, thoughtfully realized music can become a character all its own, defining the world as much as a slasher's mask or a creepy castle.
And in so many cases, that soundscape becomes the identifiable embodiment of the stories that we love. The tubular bells of The Exorcist.
The 3D disco beat of Camp Crystal Lake.
the screeching strings of the shower in Psycho. They all call to mind specific images, characters, and scenes that are forever connected to their melodies, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
The nominees in this category, each in their own way, have added to this tradition, crafting musical movements and themes that we will forever associate with Fright icons of tomorrow.
More so, they have put on full display indisputable proof that horror does indeed rock.
The nominees for Best Score are
Michael Abels, Nope.
Jeff Barrow and Ben Salisbury, Min.
Tyler Bates and Tim Williams, Pearl.
John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies, Halloween Ends.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, Bones and All. And the Chainsaw Award goes to John Carpenter, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies for Halloween Ends.
Daniel and Cody and I want to thank you for this Chainsaw Award.
We had a great time doing the score for this film, and we're glad you liked it. Thanks.
Where do I even begin with these next two presenters? To call their resumes legendary barely scratches the surface. One of them boasts such titles as Reanimator, You're Next, and Jacob's Wife to her name, while the other can claim Night of the Comet and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, among others. And together, they did battle, with varying results, with some nasty robots in Chopping Mall. Please welcome Barbara Crampton and Kelly Maroney.
Well, fancy meeting you here.
Fancy meeting you here back.
Good to see you.
Too.
Oh, I think we have something to do, though.
We do.
Yeah,
Talk to
we'll
you
catch
later.
up later.
Okay.
The phrase limited release calls to mind exclusive items, the sort of fare you wouldn't find at just any store in the mall.
Which is good, because the last time you and I went to a mall together, things got a little crazy.
Oh, well, that's an understatement.
Now, when it comes to films, a limited release refers to a more focused rollout in specific theaters and cities.
But the true power of cinema is that when it comes to capturing the attention of an audience, there truly are no limits.
In the last year, each of the nominees in this category rose up and announced themselves to horror viewers who welcomed them with blood-curdling fanfare.
From sequels that saw the return of some murderous favorites, to nightmares brought to life through stop motion.
To the arrival of unwelcome threats or supernatural shenanigans in an apartment building.
Each of these films proved that there are certainly no boundaries on our imagination or our nightmares.
The nominees for Best Limited Release are
Orphan First Kill,
Resurrection,
Something in the Dirt,
Terrifier 2,
Mad God. And the Chainsaw Award goes to... no peeking. Terrifier 2.
Hello, I'm Phil Falcone, producer of Terrifier 2. Just wanted to reach out and thank Fangoria for the 2023 Chainsaw Award for Limited Release Movie. Thank you so much to the cast, crew, and of course our fans. Thank you so much.
And I'm George Stuber, cinematographer for Terrifier 2. We really like to thank our friends, our family, cast, and crew. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Since its inception, Fangoria has been committed to the fan experience. In fact, Fango wouldn't even exist if the people behind it weren't horror fans themselves. When the first Chainsaw Awards were presented in 1992, Fangoria sought to take the fan-driven sensibility that filled the magazine's pages and push it even further, giving viewers a chance to celebrate their favorite films in a whole new way. That's why, unlike other award shows that select winners via a governing body or a closed network of voters, the Chainsaws have always been decided by you, the fans. Every year, tens of thousands of fans cast their votes, which are then painstakingly tallied by the team at Fangoria HQ to make sure that your voices are heard and the people behind the movies that you've rallied behind know how much you love to be scared by them. And when new concepts, subgenres, or fields of fright push to the forefront, we listen and create new awards to make sure that we remain ever attentive to the changing landscape of horror. In that spirit, we now introduce a brand new Chainsaw Award in a category that has had undeniable impact on the genre, inspired by a franchise as old as Fangoria itself. Here to present it is comedian, actor, and the celebrated host of Mystery Science Theater 3000, Jonah Ray Rodriguez.
While it is true that we often look to movies for entertainment, cinema as an art form can do and be so much more. Film can defy established norms, comment on the human condition, and make a case for a better tomorrow. Never before in the annals of motion picture history has there been a subgenre that has aspired to speak to so many facets of society as the one we're about to honor. A rallying cry against corporatism and a firm statement on the iron fist of IP-driven media. This subsection of the cinematic arts is long overdue to take its place among the greats. The nominees of this inaugural award each exemplified the persistence of spirit in a dour landscape of the downtrodden, shining a beacon of light across the world, all from a small suburb in New York. The groundbreaking first ever nominees of the prestigious Chainsaw Award for Best Amityville are Amityville, Christmas Vacation, Amityville in Space, Amityville, Karen, Amityville, Scarecrow 2, Amityville, Uprising. And the Chainsaw Award for Best Amityville goes to Amityville Christmas Vacation.
Hey!
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. First of all, shout out to you for letting me be here. This is so cool.
You're welcome.
So otherwise, chase your dreams, do your thing.
Yeah, I want to thank all the fans that voted for this. It means a lot to me. I want to thank my wife, Aline Isley. Could not have done this without her. I want to thank my dad for being so supportive. And of course, I want to thank the season of Christmas. I'm not crazy. It's the Christmas season. It's the one time of year where we all act a little nicer, we all smile a little easier, we all cheer a little bit more. For just a few hours out of the entire year, we are the people we've always hoped we would be.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
are.
a miracle.
Totally.
It's really a kind of miracle
100%.
because it happens every Christmas season.
And now, not only do you know her from Pool Party Massacre and Sci-Fi's Cosplay Melee, she's also the creator and host of The Fiends. Please welcome Vamp.
When thinking about all of the exciting thrills and chills that horror has to offer, it's easy to overlook how much it can enrich our lives as well. On my show, The Fiends, I, along with some very unique fiends, explore the ways in which the genre can not only be fulfilling, but also occasionally educational. More so thanks to the work of dedicated filmmakers, historians, archivists, and beyond, horror fans know that nonfiction isn't just a mere document of fact, but rather a whole new avenue to explore a theme, cast a spell, or scare you silly. Whether it be the truth behind classic screen monsters, our obsession with the 80s, a breakdown of a popular subgenre, or the wild history behind one of metal's stickiest bands. The film in this category, each in their own way, pulled back the layers of horror to show us that truth can be just as riveting as fiction. The nominees for Best Documentary are The Found Footage Phenomenon, In Search of Darkness 3, Living with Chucky, Pennywise, The Story of It, This is Gwar. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Pennywise, The Story of It. And we have a video from our winner.
Hey everybody, this is John Campopiano. I'm the co-writer, co-producer, and co-director on the documentary Pennywise Story of It. The whole team is thrilled that we've won Best Documentary for the 2023 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards.
We're just absolutely amazed and humbled and thankful for this award for Best Documentary for Pennywise The Story of It. I mean, as horror aficionados ourselves, getting an award from Fangoria, just absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it, Chris?
Absolutely is, Gary. If I can just
thank you. Just for 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, as fans who set out to make documentaries and films for the fans, we are truly, truly humbled by this absolutely beautiful piece.
As someone who read Fangoria as a kid, I'm really honored and touched that everybody voted for us and that Fango gave us this awesome award.
Most importantly, we just want to thank everyone who has supported this project from start to finish, all the cast and crew of the film, and all the fans who have remained with us in this endeavor.
The documentary was really a labor of love. It took us from Los Angeles to Vancouver, Canada, to Virginia, to New York City, and we really put our heart and soul into this project, and we're thrilled that Fangoria is honoring us with this award. So thanks for the support, and thanks very much.
And all I gotta say is this thing is going to look beautiful in my man cave. So
my
thank you.
office.
Or in my man cave.
Oh, the office.
Or in my man cave, you know. But there's no, I mean, look at it. We can negotiate this after. Yeah, no, it's fine. No, don't break it. 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 Fuck. Thank you.
If you want to live long enough to make it to the sequel, our next guests have done the research to help you get to the end credits unscathed. They're the illustrious hosts of the Horror Movie Survival Guide. Please welcome Julia Marchesi and Terry Gamble.
Every week on Horror Movie Survival Guide, we discuss and dissect all manner of fright films, from forever faves to forgotten gems, hoping to walk away with a little bit more than when we started.
We take the tidbits and life lessons we learn and apply them not just to our knowledge of movies, but to life itself. Because in a scary world, foresight is everything.
In that way, movies have prepared us for so much, because there's a little bit of truth to be found in all of them.
And believe me, we've done the research to prove it.
With so many rich layers and commentary interwoven into the genre, it stands to reason that horror's influence would extend beyond the screen.
And that the nonfiction aspects of fright would become just as significant to the culture as the fantasy.
Whether it be trailer park dissection of drive-in classics, drag artists inspired to become monstrous creations.
Ooh, deep dives into Hollywood's darker truths, the hidden history of a marginalized community's influence on fright.
Or just a ribald discussion of the movie moments that scared us the most. The nominees in this category represent an exemplary cross-section of the impact of horror in the real world.
The nominees for Best Nonfiction Series or Miniseries are
101 Scariest Horror Movie Moments of All Time.
Cursed Films 2.
The Boulet Brothers' Dragula Titans.
Joe Bob's Ghoul-Tide Get-Together.
Queer for Fear.
And the Chainsaw Award goes to
101 Scariest Horror Movie Moments of All Time.
Yes!
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a good heft for a murder. When I was 3 years old, I watched this episode of The Outer Limits called The Architects of Fear with my older brothers, in which Robert Culp gets turned into a monster who predates the countryside with a death ray. And I was completely freaked out by it. And my brothers, in a rare display of empathy, explained to me that it was special effects, and there was actually a guy in a monster mask. And it was all put together by editors and directors and camera people. And that began kind of a lifelong fascination with how these films are made. And Shudder gave me the opportunity to make this series with talking to a lot of other fantastic creators and scholars about these films and how they work, and kind of a lifelong dream come true. So I want to thank everybody who came onto the series, and especially thank the editors who made the show what it is. It's Joe LaMattina, Caleb Emerson, Daniel Strange, and Andrew Lewis. And thank you, Fangoria.
From the depths of space to the evils of the suburbs, our next guest knows a thing or two about surviving unparalleled frights with a sense of humor. One of the stars of The Girl in the Woods, Freaky, and the recent bite-sized horror hit Snatched. Please welcome Misha Osherovich.
Do you know what killer dolls, clueless vampires, Lovecraftian horrors, 80s outsiders, and teen girl survivalists all have in common? Beyond being the inspiration for some wild therapy sessions, they all, in their way, captured the hearts and minds of television viewers in the last year. For horror fans hungry for a consistent diet of fright, the modern landscape of genre shows has truly been an embarrassment of riches, providing a variety of binge-worthy options. And for those who love to immerse themselves in the world of their favorite stories and characters, the ability to return every week is an opportunity too good to pass up. The nominees in this category exemplify some of the best of what horror television has to offer, showcasing various subgenres, themes, and tones, and revealing that the only thing better than an episode of terror is a whole season of them. The nominees for Best Series are Cabinet of Curiosities, Chucky, Stranger Things, What We Do in the Shadows, Yellow Jackets. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Stranger Things. And I accept this award on behalf of the cast and crew of Stranger Things.
Just as Fangoria has always honored the history of horror and the foundations of fan culture. Wait, isn't David supposed to be here? I thought we were doing this bit together. Hello? Is anyone gonna help me? Fine, okay, I'll go find him myself. It's not as if we're just doing a show or anything. David? 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 David?
Oh! Peaches! The one, the only Peaches! Christ, at long last we meet! I have been here, hiding in the shadows, waiting for our moment to connect.
Wait, do I know you? Hey, are you that guy that Angel said was lurking around?
I don't lurk, and surely you recognize me, for I am none other than Dr. Fearless, Scourge of the Night.
Yes, oh yeah. I'm really sorry. There's just so many seasons of Drag Race these days. I can't keep up. But nice to meet you, honey.
I think that you misunderstand. I am a chilling impresario of all things diabolical.
Now, is that like a 2-year degree, or how do you...
Hear me now, Peaches Christ. I have purposely come to these silly-dilly chainsaw awards, whatever they are, with one goal.
Oh, well, you know, I actually think you have to have a movie nominated. And
No, you don't understand. See, I need you to marry me.
Excuse me?
It is the perfect union, you and me. Our bodies, our spirits, our diabolical souls united in unholy matrimony together. Oh, we could rule the night.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
What?
Mm-mm.
No! What do you mean, no? You haven't even considered my offer, or the possibilities.
Yeah, I'm good. Besides, I'm actually here with someone.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who is... Not that damned David Dastmalchian, whatever, however you say his name. I hate that guy every year. He ruins my plans. But I refuse to allow him to come between us. Oh, between us, there should be no space. This scheme, it's foolproof.
You know, I agree. You're a fool, and this is proof. Oh,
I think you should reconsider, Peaches Christ. You and I, we could together be a power couple of fright.
I don't even know you.
But I know you, Peaches Christ, deep in my soul, deep in my loins, oh, Peaches Christ of San Francisco. Your midnight cult appeal combined with my hair, my sinister schemes, we would be unstoppable.
But Who are we not stopping for? Exactly. I mean, award shows tend to be long enough already.
I don't think that you're hearing me.
No. I'm hearing you just fine, you dirty little chaser pervert man.
Peaches!
David! Oh, wait, didn't you say that you two know each other? Maybe he can come over here and talk some sense into you.
No! Please do not call him David Dastmalchian, however you say his name. We cannot be seen together, him and me.
What? Why?
Well, there was an incident. Tabloids, it's a scandalous speculation.
Okay, yeah, I don't care. David! Get over here!
Fine. I will go, but you have not seen the last of me, Peaches Christ. Oh, you smell so good. There are other award shows. There are other parties. There are other nights for me to entrance you, and you will take my hand in marriage.
Whatever. David? There you are. Where have you been?
Oh, I had to pop into the quantum realm for just a second.
Wait, didn't they close that place down after the incident at the saunas?
Where were you?
Ugh, some idiot was proposing to me. Typical night.
Award?
Award. Just as Fangoria has always honored the history of horror and the foundations of fan culture,
they've also been committed to keeping a keen watch on what lies ahead. Here to present a brand new Chainsaw Award, sponsored by Paramount Scares, are Fangoria's Editor-in-Chief, Phil Nobile Jr.,
and digital editor, Angel Melanson.
It's wild to think that during the heyday of Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, and Lon Chaney, that folks like Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, and Vincent Price were considered the up-and-coming new kids on the block.
But that's one of horror's great strengths. It can be defined by a generation while simultaneously looking ahead to the next. It's a medium where as soon as the envelope is pushed, we immediately demand someone push it farther.
And in that way, horror is constantly growing, integrating new voices and fresh talent to stand side by side with longstanding masters of the genre.
It's why we rush to see a new release with Jamie Lee Curtis on one weekend and one starring Jenna Ortega the next. We want to continue to celebrate our beloved icons while also looking to discover the icons of the future.
And it's in that spirit of looking ahead that Fangoria would like to introduce a special new award this year, the Editorial Eyeball on the Future Award.
Chosen by the Fangoria editorial team, this award recognizes emerging talent in the horror space. Up-and-coming performers who made a significant impact on our hearts, screens, and screams in the last year.
As a publication, Fangoria has always reveled in what lies ahead, and the inaugural recipients of this award have each, in their own way, rocked the needle of fright in the most exciting of ways. Bearing that in mind, it is my esteemed pleasure to present the inaugural Editorial Eyeball Chainsaw Awards to the following recipients. First up, the star of one of this year's breakaway horror hits, she's the final girl who spread her wings in Terrifier 2. I'm proud to present this award to Lauren Lavera.
Check that out. Guys, look at it. Look at it! Ah, it looks awesome! Okay, so, yeah, I never would have thought in a million years I would be honored with such a legendary award like the Chainsaw Award. And to be honored the first year this category, the Editor's Eyeball Award, is ever being recognized is truly next level. So I'd like to thank everyone at Fangoria for this honor, as well as everyone who worked on Terrifier 2. I wouldn't be here if not for you. Obviously, Damien Leone, I wouldn't be here if not for you. So thank you for entrusting me with such a badass role like Sienna. Dave Howard Thornton, thank you for being the most killer scene partner, as well as the entire cast and crew. I dedicate this award to you. I'm accepting this award on your behalf because, again, wouldn't be here without you. And last but not least, all of the horror fans out there, all of the Fangoria fans out there, thank you so much for your continued love and support, especially for a genre that takes so much heart and soul and creativity to even put out there. So thank you, and thank you for accepting me with such open arms this past year. I am so incredibly grateful. So now, if you don't mind, I will be taking this award outside in public to scare all the neighborhood children.
Next, they're the extraordinary filmmaking duo whose debut feature, Alone with You, announced them as a creative force to watch. We present this award to Emily Bennett and Justin Brooks.
Thank you so much. My God, we are speechless, literally. To win a Fangoria Chainsaw Award is a lifelong dream. I know for Justin, and certainly this is the greatest achievement I've experienced in my career. We built Alone with You together. It was a collective nightmare that we put on film, and you responded. And getting the Editor's Eyeball Award, we won't let you down. We have more coming.
Absolutely. I thank you to everybody at Fango. I can't tell you how much it meant to us both when we first got to see our film in the pages of Fangoria. It's personally, that's the moment I felt like a real filmmaker. And as somebody that's been stealing Fangoria out of his father's closet since he was 10 years old, I can't tell you how much this means to me and means to us both as filmmakers. And we hope to be just littering the pages of Fangoria for ever forward. So thank you so much to everybody. We couldn't be happier. This means the absolute world to us both.
And we have more coming soon, so stay tuned.
And last,
but not least,
is a talented individual who answered horror's call this year. He's the young man who grappled with the grabber. We're proud to present our final recipient of this year's Editorial Eyeball Award to Mason Thames.
Wow. Thank you.
There you go.
That's creepy. Thank you. I don't really know what to say, but first of all, I'd like to thank Scott Derrickson, because I really wouldn't be here without him. He took a chance on a kid that, has done nothing, and, he really believed in me, so thank you so much. I'd like to thank my managers, my agents, my mom, my dad, everybody who worked on Black Phone, and thank you to the fans, thank you to Fangoria for this, and I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much.
From the recent smash hit Megan, please welcome Violet McGraw and Megan.
Wait a minute. You're not Megan.
That's correct. I'm Megan. I'm the new upgraded model. I heard there was problems with the last operating system.
Megan? That name doesn't even make any sense.
We'll tell that to Megan, or Megan.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Okay, fine. I'm not Megan, or Megan, or whatever, but I was really inspired by her amount of slay, and I just really wanted to live the fantasy.
I can't argue with that. And honestly, it's a pretty solid look.
Thanks.
Is it makeup?
Yeah, well, makeup, skill, and a lot of attitude. But yeah, pretty much.
Oh, just like the nominees in this next category, who didn't just apply makeup, but used it to bring whole worlds to life.
Exactly. Whether it be creatures in the dark, demons from another dimension, or colorful clowns, or beyond. Each of the artists really brought the brush and brought the attitude.
And the nominees for Best Makeup are
Alexander Anger and Monica Pavez, Black Spot FX, Crimes of the Future.
Ludmil Ivanov, Barbarian.
Damian Leone, Terrifier 2.
Josh and Sierra Russell, Russell FX, Hellraiser.
Sarah Rubano and Kevin Wasner, Weta X. And the Chainsaw Award goes to... Damian Leone, Terrifier 2. And now we have a message from Damian.
Wow, this is seriously the coolest thing ever. Thank you to Fangoria. Thank you to everybody out there who voted for me. This is a tremendous honor. I also want to give a shout out to the fellow makeup nominees. You guys are seriously super talented rock stars. I also want to accept this on behalf of my Producing partner, Phil Falcone, who was my makeup effects assistant throughout the entire course of the movie. I could not have done any of this without him by my side. So this is just as much yours, buddy, as it is mine. I want to say this award in particular is very special to me, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was a little kid, I discovered this hour-long documentary called Screen Greats about special makeup effects artist Tom Savini, and it was the first time I ever saw what a makeup artist did, and I knew from that moment on that I wanted to do this for the rest of my life. Now, if you see here, it says Fangoria. So Fangoria produced this, and now here I am, 30 years later, accepting an award from Fangoria for special makeup effects artists. So this is a wonderful sort of full circle moment for me. So I'd also like to dedicate this award to Tom Savini, because I wouldn't be here if that guy didn't inspire me so much. So again, this is a tremendous honor. I will cherish this award forever, and thank you again for supporting us. Practical effects forever.
Our next presenters may not be mad scientists, but they are confirmed professors of all things horror. From the celebrated Fangoria podcast, Colors of the Dark, please welcome Dr. Rebecca McKendry and Elric Kane.
In the modern age of TikTok and Twitch, instant delivery and accessibility with a click, it's hard to believe that the video store era was really not that long ago.
For so many horror fans, those years were crucial. Within the confines of four walls, the rows and rows of tapes made it seem like we had limitless possibilities.
And while the magic of the video store era was unique, that sense of chasing endless horizons is relatable to fans from any decade.
These days, the multitude of platforms available to audiences is vast, and there's more places to discover your next favorite thing than ever before.
In a landscape of streaming platforms that are created and curated to speak to specific tastes, fan bases, and genres, horror lovers have never had more options, and creators have never had more avenues to unleash their frights onto the world.
Whether it be the angels from hell, witches in the woods,
rambunctious cannibals, space hunters,
or just pure surreal madness, the nominees in this category each made an impact both on their platforms of release and in the hearts of horror fans, leaving us begging for more.
The nominees in Best Streaming Premiere are Fresh,
Hellraiser,
Hellbender,
Prey,
A Wounded Fawn,
and the Chainsaw Award goes to
Prey!
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you to Fangoria, who I think is arguably as much a part of the Predator franchise as is any producer or film studio or crew member. Fangoria is a huge part of my life. I have very palpable memories of not being allowed to read Fangoria and buying a copy of maybe Nintendo Power or GamePro and the Fangoria magazine, and then like when my parents asked what magazine did I buy, I would just show them the Nintendo Power. Anyway, and now I made a movie that is a part of Fangoria, and all that stuff is so cool. On behalf of the cast and crew and all the blood, both green and red, sweat and tears they put into making the movie, I want to thank you guys for honoring us. So thank you so much.
They say the pen is mightier than the sword. And when you're using it to create monsters, even doubly so. Our next presenter not only was the writer of fan favorite Malignant, but also the recent breakaway hit Megan. Please welcome Akela Cooper.
Ask any screenwriter and they'll tell you. Beyond giant monsters, mass slashers, and yes, even killer dolls, there's nothing scarier than a blank page. But there's also nothing quite as exciting. That blinking cursor can be a gateway to making a statement, purging your demons, or making whole worlds where there were none. But before there's actors, a set, posters, or premieres, there's the written word, the story that paved the way to make it all possible. Our favorite horror movies, no matter how big or small, all began with a blank page and an idea, a hope to engage, to excite, and to scare. In the past year, the nominees in this category each proved themselves to be exemplary storytellers, taking us to the distant past, the shocking now, and all the delicious places in between. In each case, they started with a story that built a world, that created a movie, that led to us watching in absolute fear and utter delight. The nominees for Best Screenplay are C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson, The Black Phone; Zach Krieger, Barbarian; Mia Goth and Ty West, Pearl; Jordan Peele, Nope; Seth Reese and Will Tracy, The Menu. And the Chainsaw Award goes to C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson, The Black Phone. And now, a message from C. Robert Cargill and Scott Derrickson.
Hey, Fango, I'm Cargill. Scott. And this means the world to us. You know, I've talked many times about the fact that 2022 is one of the best years in horror in years. Just to have our film named alongside all these wonderful films that we're in love with was such a big honor. But the fact that you voted ours, one of your favorite, means the world to us. This is a fan award, and the fact that the fans came out and gave us Best Screenplay as writers really is amazing. So thank you guys. Scott, do you...
What you said.
Yeah, what I said. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for the rewrite, and thank you.
I think we all can agree that the only thing that rivals the excitement of celebrating our favorite spine-tinglers of the past is shivering in anticipation over what's next. With that in mind, I'm thrilled to bring a little extra treat with me to this evening's festivities. What you're about to see is an exclusive, never-before-seen clip from the forthcoming 20th century film, The Boogeyman, based on a short story by Stephen King, directed by Rob Savage, and starring, well, let's just say you'll see some familiar faces. So give it a look. Keep it in mind for the chainsaws of the future, and without further ado, feast your eyes and your fears on The Boogeyman, which will be released exclusively in movie theaters on June 2nd.
I know that you know what it's like to lose someone that you love just like that.
What were you saying about your children? What happened to your children?
Well, the first one, our baby girl, she died from SIDS.
I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine how difficult that must have been.
You have kids, so you can't imagine. My next 2 kids died within a year of the first, one right after the other.
From natural causes to...
Nothing natural about it. It sucked the life right out of them. Even if the first one was an accident, it still made us susceptible.
Susceptible? To what?
I don't know exactly. I only glimpsed it once. Right before my Annie's neck broke. Before they died, my kids, I thought it was just their imaginations getting the better of them, and my oldest tried drawing it for me.
What is this supposed to be?
It's the thing that comes for your kids when you're not paying attention.
Simply put, our next presenter is an absolute legend. Not only is she the star of the original Friday the 13th and one of horror's most iconic final girls, but now, 4 decades later, she's set to return to the woods in the upcoming A24-produced, Brian Fuller-created series, Crystal Lake. It's my extreme pleasure to welcome the one and only Adrienne King.
When I first arrived at the lake, that New Jersey campground film set all those years ago, I couldn't have possibly predicted that the low-budget independent movie we were there to make would become a defining chapter of my life. In fact, we didn't even have a complete script yet. It evolved as we were filming. So legacy was really the last thing on my mind. But the funny thing about choosing to make horror movies is that sometimes, in turn, horror chooses you. None of us could have predicted the breakaway success of Friday the 13th, or any of the sequels, remakes, or reimaginings that followed. But we each, in our own way, became keepers of its history. All because of our little movie that captured the imaginations of audiences and ran, and ran, and ran. As an artist, one of the great gifts of this genre is to see how it grabs hold of the hearts and minds of the people who love it and allows them a little bit of escape through a laugh or a scream. To that end, to be the lead of a horror movie is no small task. You have to create a character, not to mention your own backstory, serve the story, and still provide a way in for everyone watching. These are the characters that we root for, we draw strength from, dream of being friends with, or in some cases, dream of being. It's through them that we experience the fantasy and build a legacy. The nominees in this category put their own unique stamp on horror the last year, leading their individual stories with the ferocity of a nightmare and the grace of a dream, and each, in their own way, became the keepers of the horror history of tomorrow. The nominees for Best Lead Performance are Anna Jope Nanny, Isabel Furman, Orphan First Kill, Mia Goth, Pearl, Rebecca Hall, Resurrection, Daniel Kaluuya, Nope, Amber Midthunder, Prey, Micah Monroe, Watcher, Kiki Palmer, Nope, Josh Rubin, A Wounded Fawn, Taylor Russell, Bones and All. And the Chainsaw Award goes to Mia Goth, Pearl. Unfortunately, Mia Goth can't be with us tonight. She's off doing something wonderful somewhere. But on her behalf, I will gratefully accept this award for Final Girls Everywhere. Cheers.
Despite their collective name, these next presenters have made a lot of noise within the horror world thanks to their work on such fan favorites as Ready or Not, last year's Scream, and this year's highly anticipated Scream 6. Please welcome Radio Silence.
When you work on the Scream franchise, being asked what's your favorite scary movie becomes a pretty common occurrence.
But if you really want to get a good debate among fans going, there's a much more focused version of that question you can ask.
And that's who directed your favorite scary movie. For film enthusiasts, a strong allegiance to the artists who helmed our favorite frights is part of the territory.
And whether you're a diehard for Craven, Carpenter, DaCosta, or the Daniels,
or even a whole bunch of them at once, it's fun to know and celebrate the people behind the art that speaks to us. Whether it be a decades-long filmography or a single groundbreaking cinematic entry that changed everything.
The nominees in this category are each undeniably unique artists who this year delivered extraordinary and bold new visions that left an immediate impact on audiences.
And quite possibly introduced some viewers to their favorite scary movie and filmmaker in the process. The nominees for Best Director are
Zach Cregger, Barbarian. David Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future. Chloe Okuno, Watcher. Jordan Peele, Nope. Ty West, X.
And the Chainsaw Award goes to Jordan Peele.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm gobsmacked. So normally I wouldn't make a video like this to accept an award, but I had to make an exception because the very good people at Fangoria and the Chainsaw Awards have named me Best Director for my film Nope, and I just truly wanted to say thank you, and maybe more importantly, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Okay, that's a murder. That's a murder victim on an award. You put it on an award. And this, I don't know who that is. Did you, who this is depicting? Have we checked with the families? Look, I can't thank you enough. And, what I wanted to say is just close out by saying what I truly believe, which is that the horror community is the nicest, kindest, sweetest group of people in the world. And maybe I believe that a little less so after this award. But thank you.
And now, to present the Chainsaw Award for Best Kill, as sponsored by Liquid Death. Hold on to your heads and try to control your bleeding. It's legendary special effects artist, Christopher Nelson.
Horror history is filled with some truly outrageous moments of gore. From Tina being dragged up the wall by Freddy, Jason using a sleeping bag to turn a camper into pulp, or yes, a teen in the wrong place at the wrong time eating the business end of a bread slicer. We always want to see the boundaries pushed in our need for a fright fix. It also means that with each passing year, effects artists have to up the ante to find new ways to shock and awe audiences who have gotten quite used to seeing a whole lot. As a previous recipient of this award, I can tell you that there's a specific joy in knowing that the blood and guts you've spilled have captured the hearts, minds, and vomit bags of audiences. Earlier in the show, it was discussed how the Chainsaw Awards are entirely fan-driven, and that's doubly true with this particular category. When voting, viewers across the world were asked to write in their favorite kill scene from the past year. So more than ever, the winner of this icky, sticky prize was chosen by all you wonderful sickos, and we wouldn't have it any other way. With that in mind, the Chainsaw Award for Best Kill goes to Killing Alley, Terrifier 2. And accepting the award for Best Kill is Casey Hartnett from Terrifier 2.
Wow, oh my gosh, thank you all so much. I want to start out by apologizing to everyone who got sick or fainted in the theater. Genuinely so sorry, and I hope you are all okay. I'm accepting this on behalf of Damien Leone, mastermind, genius behind Terrifier 2, and this death scene, obviously. So much went into it. There are so many people who are really sharing this award tonight. Damien did tell me that his goal was to have at least one person walk out of the theater, and my mom did not count. So I just want you all to know that thank you all so much for going out to see this film. It means the world to us that it's even being recognized in this way, and that you all cared to go out to the theaters, and for voting in general. And one thing I do want to say to the fans who voted for this, there's something to be said about the horror and gore of all these horror films that actually tend to ease anxiety and stress in people. And for everyone who has reached out to me specifically to say how much this is Terrifier 2 and the character of Allie actually helped you with your anxiety and stress and depression or whatever, I just want you all to know that we see you and we hear you. And thank you all so much for supporting us, and we support you. Thank you.
To present our final award of the evening, we're thrilled to introduce a performer whose bold interpretation of a horror icon helped introduce one of the genre's most flesh-tearing tales to a whole new generation.
Audiences previously got to know this iconic individual from her roles in such shows as Sense8 and the L Word Generation Q.
And now, we all celebrate her as the reigning Queen of Hell.
From Hellraiser, please welcome Jamie Clayton.
A crucial ongoing theme in the world of Hellraiser is understanding the delicate balance between pleasure and pain, which in some ways is also applicable to making movies. As any filmmaker will tell you, every project is its own unique puzzle box, requiring many, many dedicated artists working in tandem to solve its mysteries and bring it to life. The journey of a modern picture often requires a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And yet, despite the hardships, few joys are greater than seeing the completed work play for an eager audience. Each of the films in this category not only represent the result of many individual journeys, but also offer proof of what happens when the truly dedicated set out to bring a dream or a nightmare to life. Whether it be the terrors of what lurks below, threats from the great beyond, the anxiety of a phone call, or the horrors that are interwoven over the course of a lifetime, each of these films captured the hearts of audiences around the world and helped define the past year in fright. The nominees for Best Wide Release Movie are Barbarian, The Black Phone, Nope, Pearl, X. And the Chainsaw Award goes to The Black Phone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
This is so cool.
I would like to thank this on behalf of Scott Derrickson and Cargill and everybody else who worked on Black Phone.
We're so grateful, and it was such an honor to get to work on Black Phone and be a part of it and working with everyone. They were all so kind and caring. And it was amazing to see how Scott and Cargill made such a great script come to life in such an incredible and spooky way.
Yeah, it was incredible to work with Maddie and then Ethan. Him with that mask is something I'll definitely never forget, especially in my dreams. But, it's an experience I'll never forget, so thank you.
And with that, the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards draw to a close for another year.
I think it's safe to say we had a lot of fun and learned some valuable lessons along the way.
What lessons did we learn?
Oh, that when you're a horror fan, everybody wins.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank you. You can actually get the t-shirt at my website, peacheschrist.com. P-E-A.
We would love to thank our producers, our sponsors.
Oh, and offer our sincerest apologies to the fine folks of Amityville, New York.
Thanks for watching. And in the immortal words of George A. Romero,
stay scared!
That went well.
I think we nailed it.
We did nail it. I need a nap. Do you know which coffin's mine?
I think it's the black one.
Oh, yeah. I think